Hey everybody, welcome again to May 2021 of Reload Podcast. You got me here, Trey, and you got old Ray Blast, aka Braulio, here with me. So it's May, we're getting close to June. E3's coming up real soon. I'm very, very anticipated for this event because, oh my god, there's a lot of upcoming stuff like PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Nintendo. There's so much upcoming stuff coming out. Like, I'm just sensing the anticipation, and I feel like a lot of the stuff that's about to be announced is going to be talked about all year long once it's all revealed. But we're actually going to go over some of the stuff that we should be hopefully seeing at E3 as well today on this episode. But before we begin on news and everything, Reload has two upcoming projects before we officially start on Project Genesis. We have Project Seed and Project Nocturne. So basically, Project Seed will be a little linear horror game that we will be working on, but I will not go too much detail as we will be uploading devlogs here soon, kind of explaining what to expect and all that. But I will let Ray Blast pretty much explain what Nocturne be about here in just a second. But basically, we want to try to bring new aspects to horror. That's what Project Seed's mostly going to be about, and we already talked about Genesis possibly being a horror, but just ideas all coming in and everything. But you want to go ahead and talk, Braulio, about old Nocturne?
So Nocturne is a sort of an ambitious project that we're currently planning. As usual, we always like having like a good foundation and having our designs out there. There's a lot of design that goes into this, so as of right now, we are still in the planning process. But what I can tell you right now is that it's going to be very it's going to be different, and I think this difference, and especially in this genre, which I'm gonna explain at a later date, will be interesting. But
oh yeah, definitely be interesting for sure.
What I can tell you is, if you're a fan of action, if you're a fast-paced gamer or something, I think this is definitely something you want to keep your eyes out and definitely check up on news. I'm gonna be delving into it as much as I can here in the future as the project gets closer to development phase.
I can't. Yeah, a lot of us, especially in staff, learning more and more every day. I may mention it before, but I'm going to college for like cybersecurity and stuff, but I'm trying to learn game dev on the side. So people like me, new to this, but we're going to definitely be working a lot with people that are, experienced like Ray Blast and everything. And we started getting some other people as well on the development team. But can't wait to see what we can come up with, and hopefully make some bomb ass games. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited.
But yeah, I mean, as of right now, we're just pretty much just waiting waiting to bring out more information and everything. But as of right now, we can't really pretty much tell all the details just yet. Eventually we will. But speaking of which, time to start going over. So this episode, as of today, actually, there has been a new trailer for Far Cry 6 dropped. Just kind of unexpectedly. But Far Cry 6 is expected to launch October 7th with new weapons, vehicles, and pets.
Ooh.
They're talking pet crocodiles, jetpacks, and there's going to be a lot of options. So I'm going to say probably be like Far Cry 5 type level equipment and followers and stuff like that. But from what I saw from the trailer, and I remember reading it before, Far Cry 6 is supposed to be kind of like like you're setting an actual dictatorship. And from what I saw, like the military style equipment, gear, and everything, this definitely looks like I wouldn't say Caribbean or like completely South American, but well, actually, yeah, like you would almost assume it's like a communist South American, like nation you're basically going against, like with this the military equipment and everything. You got all these types of like Russian helicopters, a lot of weapons. If I wouldn't say I saw any tanks, but I wouldn't be surprised if like they finally like bring those type of vehicles to Far Cry. Because you're supposed to be, it's going to be pretty much a whole big city, and then you're going to have like a whole big jungle on the outskirts that's going to be consisting of the map. Speaking of which, I mean, recently we've been having a craze over fallen babies on Destiny 2. Now we're having a craze on Far Cry 6 with a little pupper. A lot of people's going over crazy over a little dog.
Hey.
But from what I gather from the trailer, the main character will be a female, Dani Rojas. It's actually a Caribbean island of Yara. That's what the CDM map would be called, is Yara. And under the rule of El Presidente Anton Castillo. El Presidente, that's a reference for El Tropico. In a fight for the island, Rojas has access to customized weapons such as handgun with a large drum magazine. That's pretty realistic. And a launcher that shoots out burnt out CDs of Los Del Rio's 90s hit Macarena. A lot of dialogues tend to pronounce stuff like that differently. But there's definitely a lot of new trailers, especially a character trailer for the main character and everything. So this is actually supposed to be coming out in October, which originally was supposed to come out already in February, but I honestly can't complain as long as it's good to go and everything. I have no complaints. Hopefully this game turns out to be really, really well, because this is this is basically going like old school style like Far Cry. Like you're pretty much, instead of like, just cults and everything, you're actually going against like governments and aren't like actual paramilitaries and stuff like that. But it will be coming to PS4 and Xbox One, so it'll be coming to current gen and next gen for sure. It's also coming to Stadia, but you will definitely be having a pet dog and pet crocodiles, so that's definitely going to be something. Another thing that's also noticeable is that a lot of people are seeing destructible environments. So we could possibly see like a Mercenaries 2 successor. If for those who played Mercenaries 2, that game was set in Venezuela, and Mercenaries is known for destructible environments. So we could potentially be seeing a little something similar, possibly. I mean, I wouldn't complain with destructible environments entirely, but that is something we have to see. But and unlike Far Cry 4, 5, and some stuff like that, they're finally bringing back the actual destruction you could do in 2 and 3, like bringing down trees and causing actual like smoke and everything. So it's like it's definitely going to be like more realistic feel. So like explosions are definitely going to be bringing like a lot of smoke. So if like you cause fires, like you're definitely going to have like a hard time fighting, but you could definitely use that to your advantage to like stealth, because that's kind of what these games are known for, as well as also stealth. But I'm honestly looking to enjoy this game already. Like, I've seen trailer and everything. It's definitely something I've actually been wanting for a Far Cry. What, have you seen any of the new stuff yet?
I've seen those snippets. And personally, I have to say, like, I really like the feel they're going with it. It definitely looks like something that would interest me, especially as someone who's played like Far Cry, here and there. It's on my radar for games coming out in the future. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, for a long time, the only thing we had was that one trailer of the El Presidente, and I'm assuming his kid. Oh, and then there's the riots and everything going on, and for a while that's all we had. But now there's like an actual interview with the El Presidente in it. It seems like there's definitely going to be a lot happening in this here game. I'm honestly already hyped. Like, I wasn't really, because Far Cry, like I enjoyed Far Cry 5, but it's like it was only good for pretty much a little bit. But this game seems like it'd be good all throughout. Like I would probably say like on my like scale, I would almost say this game would definitely be good as like Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3. Hopefully it does.
We hope, yeah.
But we discussed this game before, Battlefield 6. So we have covered that it was supposed to be next gen only, but there has been a lot of leaks saying that it will be for sure becoming the PS4 and at the Xbox One. But their possibility is going to be very downgraded. So they are saying this game should be for sure releasing in 2021. It may be possibly December, but as far as we know, still going to be 64 player multiplayer and everything. And there's definitely like someone was saying like they're trying to go for like content kind of like Battlefield 3's, like kind of like Battlefield 3 roots, which I honestly would not complain. Battlefield 3 definitely a lot of fun, but hopefully they add like still like structurable buildings and stuff like 4 did, like Siege of Shanghai and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be taking 10-15 years in the future, so it's going to be like modern, but some new technology, because you got to remember the last DLC for Battlefield 4 was when floating tank, the I wouldn't say crossbow, but the little bow they had and everything was definitely taken futuristic. But I mean, there's not really too much as of yet that we haven't already covered for Battlefield 6, but from what we gathered, it definitely looks like they're going back to like Battlefield 3 route, which honestly I wouldn't complain at all. Alright, so there's a game that's been honestly a surprise for me, and I honestly have to say I kind of have to thank Soup, one of the other founders of Reload, for showing me this game. Knockout City. Been enjoying this game. It's if you have EA Play or Game Pass, you can definitely play this game. It's also cross-play as well. So basically there's like this whole entire city, in case Knockout City, and dodgeball. You definitely got all these moves. You can tackle players, you can catch balls or dodgeballs being thrown at you, and there's like all different types of dodgeballs. There's like a football. It's like a sniper in a sense.
Ooh.
There's a bomb. There's multi-balls, which basically you have like, instead of one you have 3 to throw. There's a cage, so if you throw a cage at someone and catch it, you can use them as a dodgeball against their teammates. Speaking of that, you can also put yourself into a ball for your teammates, and they can use you to throw at the other team.
Ooh.
And there's also a moon ball, which is supposed to like help you jump higher and stuff, and it has like a nice little music when you hold it. But from what I've seen, everybody's been pretty much enjoying this game. One of my favorite streamers, Saving the Bees, he's been talking about it, but it is under EA, so there's that's still that possibility that soon EA may start breaking down and then start ruining the game. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I know EA's been making a lot of good decisions lately and everything, but hopefully they keep that trend going. But definitely a little futuristic. The maps are really good. Like, it's really easy to learn controls. The only thing is like for me, I keep like, so there's like different types of jumps. Like there's Q and E, and they both have different ones. E's like you're kind of just like twirling and double jump, and then Q's like a front flip double jump. And like Q and E for like mouse and keyboard, it's also different ways to throw the dodgeball. And I'm used to always space being jump, and every single time I use it, because you can still jump with space, but if you press double space, it brings out the glider, and sometimes that still messes me up. But yeah, that's actually what I'm actually reading something right now. So basically, like people are kind of like graphics are basically kind of like Splatoon from Nintendo. I would almost say like the characters are definitely looks like the ones for Splatoon. Definitely got some good customizations and everything as well. And the game's like $20 base anyway. But like I said, if you already have Game Pass or EA Play, you can already go ahead and download it pretty much for free. But I was showing this game, and yeah, this game is definitely. I would definitely keep an eye on this game or try it out eventually. So far, there's only 3v3 and 2v2, and I think in comp there's a 1v1. So you could get a lot of people, like up to 6 for private matches, but you can't really get any more as of yet. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to add any more like 4v4 or 5v5, but I can go ahead and tell you if there was a 5v5, they better hope there's bigger maps or something, because it's going to be chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of this game kind of reminded me of a Ubisoft game that was announced in E3 like years ago called Roller Champions. That's kind of what vibes I was getting from this game, but sadly, Roller Champions still ain't out. Dear God, Ubisoft, please bring this game, make that game come release soon. But yeah, Knockout City is definitely like a must try for me, like personally. Oh, actually, if you do not have EA or Game Pass, actually, Knockout City is free to play until 31st of May.
Oh, hey, that's definitely a good time to hop in the ring.
Yep. Oh, and this also this game will also test like your reflexes a lot. But one of the biggest issues that I probably would see from this game, and it's not really an issue, but if you want to like make your character actually look cool and everything, there are the microtransactions, which EA, that is expected.
Mm-hmm.
But as of yet, there's none that's like pay to win, so that's good. All right. Have you tried out Knockout City yet?
I've played. I haven't really never played it, but I've seen streamers play it, and it looks definitely fun. Something like definitely like to have fun around with, especially like in a stream or like for content.
Yeah, I never officially like watch a stream or anything. I just know Soup came up to me. He's like, "Hey, try out this game." And I'm like, "Okay." I downloaded it. Not that big of a game. Runs really well, optimized, no crashes or anything, and got in a match almost instantly.
Nice.
Probably the only thing is the menu can be unfriendly a little bit. Like trying how would you say it? Like the social menu and trying to exit the game is like a little odd. And I will say that when you're in between matches, like matchmaking, it's a little different. So, some games like this, like when you're in lobbies, you go back, basically you just go back and you just run around waiting for the new match. This one, you're basically just still like you're in a match, and then now you're waiting for the other match. You don't go back to your hideout or anything. You're just sitting there just waiting. All right. But I mean, I would definitely recommend checking out Knockout City for those who are listening. Definitely must play. I mean, my honest opinion, I would recommend it. But this game, it could be one of those games like Fall Guys or Among Us, be popular for a little bit and then just kind of just fall out of popularity. Yeah. But it just all depends how EA plays with this game. But now let's go to some real issues for streaming. Since we've been talking about streamers a little bit, DMCA, over 1,000 DMCA claims just recently. I wouldn't say today, but just recently, a lot of creators were slapped. I noticed that Nick Merckx and like a lot of other people, they had to go delete all their VODs after being slapped with DMCA claims. And yeah, like I'm talking like there's thousands of claims now. But yeah, I mean this all comes in from like, listening to music in the background, which sadly is no longer just gonna be a thing no more. It's listening to music in the background playing a game, or even just talking to your viewers. So Twitch is basically still saying to these content creators, saying don't play music. Like they're not helping these people at all, and they're just slapping people with DMCA strikes with no issues.
Very unfortunate, especially considering some of these like DMCA's like from clips or like videos that are years or months old, right? Just in a very unfortunate situation that we're finding content creators in right now.
Yeah, I actually started researching this stuff a little bit. It's actually very complicated, and that's why a lot of content creators basically kind of fall prone to stuff like this. So it's basically like if like almost drinking a Coke on stream can make you liable to be DMCA striked.
Oh no.
Literally. Like showing off any brand that's protected from copyright laws or anything, which as you know, Coke, Dr. Pepper, Twitch itself, Amazon, stuff like that. Almost any of them can literally send a copyright claim, and it's just ridiculous. But I mean, with the way that's going, the music industry is definitely going to change, because like YouTube's had this problem. They kind of helped settled it, but especially with Twitch, like streamers trying to show off their favorite songs and stuff, it's going to affect that. And Twitch is definitely gaining more popularity more and more every day. So music industry, in my opinion, may be like kind of affected by this, because there's been instances where even like artists, the music they made themselves, they were to sit there and hit with strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know about that?
I've heard like multiple stories, like, oh, I'm listening to my own music. Oh wait, I just got a notification. Oop, strike. Okay, let me go call up my stuff. It's dumb, but I guess that's just how the system works, which is unfortunate. Which is why there needs to be a change or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt Twitch will probably change it. They're going to basically force all content creators to pretty much fall in line or be gone. That's why like YouTube and like Facebook starting to get a lot of new content creators, like Stone Mountain, Dark Disrespect on all these other platforms, and like other platforms like Thetis, like all like pretty much starting to skyrocket. Like granted, to it, like I was saying earlier, Twitch is gaining popularity, but they could definitely be a lot bigger if they had the situation fixed.
For sure.
But speaking of which, poles and hot tubs.
That's an interesting.
I want to go over that a little. I want to go over that just a little bit. So, for a long time on Twitch, there was a lot of just chatting was literally just filled with like hot tubs and pools. Nothing against people or anything, but I noticed on Twitter, like even big time streamers and everything were complaining about Twitch basically supporting pornography, like legit saying that Twitch is supporting pornography on their platform. Because if you went to some streams, some of them were literally drawing on their bodies. They were doing all types of stuff, promoting their OnlyFans, which is adult content, and promoting their premium Snapchat. Like it was wild. And now Poles and Hot Tubs now has their own little category. But the funniest thing I noticed is like I never really go on there and watch. I never really hardly ever use browse if. Always try to watch people that I already follow, and most of the time I'll see their go live on Twitch, or I'll just use the follow thing on Twitch. But now I finally went and looked at it, and like You just go in there and you just see literally just people with like a pool in the background or the beach in the background. Like they're sitting there just in normal clothes, but they just have like a beach or something in the background. Trixie was doing that actually before recently.
Cool.
Just sat there like basically photoshopped herself and basically in a hot tub.
Hey man, if it works, right?
Oh yeah. But before we go into this ad break, basically want to go over, when it comes to like DMCA strikes and all that, that was definitely one of the reasons Reload was started, was basically to try to make music for streamers to use and everything, and that's definitely something that's still kind of in the works, but, stuff takes time. Definitely gotta get the equipment and all,
Mm-hmm. For sure,
But-
for sure.
But, I mean, hopefully Twitch comes up with something to help with content creators, but for how long this has been going on, and basically, like, what's been happening, especially, like, even big times, people been having to still delete all their videos, like, this happened months ago, and now they're having to do it again. And now people are getting upset. Yeah, I just highly doubt Twitch is going to do anything. So it's basically my honest opinion. Don't even play music at all. And sometimes you even gotta be careful because you still got GTA, you still got Cyberpunk. You can't even play the in-game music like that in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to a little ad break here in a little bit, so me and Ray Blast will be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Reload Podcast. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that little ad break. So, kind of cover Far Cry 6, Battlefield 6, maybe that's what it's going to be called, who knows. Knockout City, gave basically our input, went over some DMCA. But, I want to talk real quick. So, developers letting fan bases down. So recently we had some updates on Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, Total War. There's a lot been going on with the fan base and developers, and Call of Duty. So Red Dead Online is still lacking a lot of content and everything, and online's probably been out since like late 2018, and it went on PC in 2019. And there's still not a lot of content, and a lot of player base is getting pretty angry. And they had an update recently, and the only thing they added was just a few races. And let me tell you, the player base was not happy. Total War is basically the same concept. A lot of them's basically been asking for a Medieval 3 for a long time. A lot of people may know Medieval 2 and like all that used to be like very big fan favorites, especially for mods like the Third Age, like Lord of the Rings, and a lot of other games. It's also where the original Warhammer mods were on before they actually came out Warhammer and Warhammer 2. So there's Warhammer 3 coming out, but the thing is a lot of fans are not really happy because, they like fantasy, but people are questioning, it was like, if we're not doing fantasy, why aren't we doing Lord of the Rings? Or why do we not have a Medieval 3 yet? Another thing that also made the player base for Total War very unhappy was the developers announced they were stopping to support Three Kingdoms. That game recently came out too, and the fan base was really not happy. For Call of Duty, yeah, a lot of people still upset with Call of Duty with the whole cheats and hacking and everything that's still going on. They've been breaking down on them, but like I still see a lot of complaints. A lot of players don't want to do anything with Cold War, not even want anything with Modern Warfare. They have to go to old games like that, Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2 for tournaments now and competition. It's just crazy with Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is probably backed by one of the biggest publishers, and they have over 10 development companies working on Call of Duty itself, even the new one, and even Warzone, and even all of them. Like, you got all these development teams and everything, and they're basically, like, according to like a lot of the player base, they are basically letting them down, quote unquote. But set that aside, let's go to some actual good developer news. Phasmophobia has definitely been a game that released, had a lot of bugs and everything. It's definitely have improved a lot since its release. Now, it may not be as popular, but there's still constant, like, lots of people playing every day. Now, this has definitely been unexpected, but they're adding new ghosts to the game, and they're supposed to be adding new maps. If you've been a follower of Phasmophobia developer Kinetic Games, which just one developer, he uses Trello to basically announce like all types of updates. It's how people knew when Prism's coming out, all types of bug fixes and everything. The two new ghost types that are supposed to be coming out is the yokai and the hantu. They're part of Japanese folklore, but they're not really malicious, you could say. Oni definitely is like one of the most malicious beings in Japanese folklore. So hopefully, I hate to see something more malicious than Oni. That's all I have to say. but when it comes to like folklore and everything, yokai are sometimes nice, bringing good luck and everything, but most likely you're going to come across the more violent, dangerous types of those ghosts and everything. So there's no telling of like what new things to look out for and everything. Hantu is based on Malaysia and Indonesian spirits and demons. Quite a variety, I should say. But there's not really too much information about the Hantu, but there's no telling what to expect from this one. I definitely know from like when it comes to Indonesian like spirits and demons, there's some of them you definitely don't want to mess with. But there's no expected release date, but it will definitely be soon. Last I checked, they were supposed to be in the beta build, but we'll just hope for that. They're supposed to be added the apartment map and a mansion map here soon as well. I'm honestly ready to start playing some Phasmophobia again. I've been playing in VR. Thanks for Braulio here telling me all about it, and me and my cousin Showtimer eventually bought a VR. One of the first games we tried was Phasmophobia. It's a whole different experience. Very big different experience when you're sitting there playing a game like this on VR. But yeah, I noticed that recently they've been adding like new models. They've been adding like different types. Professional is actually hard, like very much more difficult now. To some points where you can't even get evidence because the ghost just won't give evidence. Used to that was an actual bug, but now that's an actual feature. Yeah. So yeah. And speaking of which, that they're still making them a lot more difficult. Like ghosts can in hunt mode can open all doors and everything now. Like when you're in a closet, instead of having to hold onto one door, it's going to open both doors, and you have to be quick. But some other good news: Dying Light 2. Same thing with Far Cry 6. We're kind of waiting on something to come out with, for this. Dying Light 2 was basically in development hell, and now we have an official release date for Dying Light 2, December 7th. So basically, Dying Light 2, civilization's already collapsed, the virus is pretty much won, and we're basically back in the dark ages when it comes to lifestyle. So from what it seems like a lot of stuff in the Dying Light will definitely have very big impacts on the story. If you remember like the very first gameplay trailer they had, you basically had that choice of dealing with water and everything like that. So I'm expect for how long this game's been in development since that trailer came out. I pretty much hate to see how much content there's going to be. But the new title is, instead of just Dying Light 2, it's now Dying Light 2 Stay Human. If you remember that, the main character happens to be infected now.
Oh.
Yeah. But you will take on the role of Aiden Caldwell, part of a group called the Night Runners. Of course, there's still day and night cycle, volatiles, and a parkour movement system from the first game. First game was done really, really well. But basically, when it comes to like being the Dark Ages, you either suffice to basically like authoritarian like government, basically like people like having to submit, or you have like total anarchy with just bandits and everything. That's basically what it seems like this game would definitely end up with. But so, I mean, Techland, like that was what we were saying in previous episodes. Techland's been pretty much entirely silent, but now it seems like they are for sure going to be releasing PS4. It's definitely going to be on PS4, Xbox, and the next gen, all December 7th. And they're saying that one of the reasons that the game was being delayed so much was, COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another thing, UV lights are also still a friendly thing, and it seems like there's a lot of different setups, a lot of different weapons, and crafting will definitely be available now. But honestly, I'd like to see this game on E3, like, games already mentioned. But it just pretty much just depends on what they want to bring out, because, I mean, like I was saying earlier, E3 is definitely going to be huge this year, because, last year we didn't have one. There's not really been many conferences lately. I know PlayStation has recently shown out some the new Horizon game, Forbidden West. I noticed they showed some screenshots and everything, but honestly, we just have to see. I know Xbox and Bethesda is like highly anticipated, so we will never know what all games are actually going to be coming out this year. As of right now, we know Starfield is heavily rumored to come out this year, and Halo Infinite's Halo Infinite's supposed to be definitely come out this year, but honestly, I wouldn't expect any surprises. Mm-hmm. But speaking of PlayStation, though, more PlayStation games are coming to PC.
Let's go.
Yep. Helldivers games like Helldivers, everybody's going to Rapture, Guns Up, Horizon Zero Dawn, Predator's finally on Steam, by the way, and recently Days Gone, and now Uncharted 4: Thief's End. It's coming to PC.
Hey yo, that's such a big title.
Mm-hmm. There's still rumors of Marvel Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, and Ghost of Tsushima, and potentially Bloodborne and Demon Souls all coming to PC.
That's gonna be.
Awesome. I've seen where they turned out to be making a very a bigger profit releasing on PC than they do on just releasing on the exclusive platform PlayStation. But I have seen a lot of good reviews, so I think after Horizon Zero Dawn it was a bad port, but now from what I saw with Days Gone, a lot of people was enjoying it, and it wasn't as bad. So that'll definitely be good. All right, so we're gonna cover two games real quick. Victoria 3. A lot of people may know Hearts of Iron, Crusaders Kings, Europa Universalis. I think that's how you pronounce it. One of the original games, actually. Oh, and I shouldn't forget Stellaris. Stellaris was another one. I shouldn't forget. Victoria is basically between Europa and Hearts of Iron. It's basically during the Bismarck era, you could say. Basically like a Victorian era as well, and also focuses on World War One. So like you're having like actually no, I take that back. Early Victorian era to like pre-World War II era. That's pretty much what you're looking at with Victoria 3. Last game of course is Victoria 2, but that game's been out a long time ago and you get it really cheap on Steam. But you know these type of games, focus on economics, politics, industrialization, the social revolutionary change of the era, communism, socialism, and capitalism and stuff like that, But this has actually been recently announced and everything, so I actually probably try and hop on this game. But I should also mention Prussia is definitely a prominent figure in this game as well. That gives it basically an insight to what people can expect. But probably the last topic we'll be covering up for this episode, and then we'll probably go over some minor stuff before we end it. Biomutant has officially came out. It was released on May 25th for all platforms. So I've been hearing a lot of mixed things. Steam currently has a lot of mixed reviews. So basically described as a kung fu fable action RPG. I've been seeing like a lot of good things, been a lot of bad things, and it's basically it's like very like colorful graphics. Graphics look really well done and everything. There's a lot of events, and the story, from what I was told, is a bit but from the combat, I have seen the combat, and the combat actually looks very fantastic. But combat can always be proven to be everything, and especially on all recent games. But basically, from what I kind of reading through the description, Biomutant's basically kind of like another version of Dauntless. You're basically like human race is extinct, which that's not in Dauntless anyway, but and you're basically fighting these big giant predators known as world eaters, which kind of like Monster Hunter / Dauntless, because that's kind of what it seems. But definitely a lot of narrative details, lore, and charming characters. I've been a lot, like I was saying, it's a bit mixed. A lot are enjoying it, but a lot are not. But basically the biggest thing I've been told about this game is first impressions are pretty bad, but once you get deep into the game, it's definitely like it definitely starts to turn into a delightful experience. But I hear a lot of mix. Don't really take my word for it. I've been told it's repetitive. I mean, sometimes I've been told the boss fights are a bit weak, but creative world building, lovely environments. I definitely would say the graphics definitely look good, and definitely big customization. I definitely remember that was one of the big things they showed off in the trailer like years ago when they finally announced the game. But definitely combat heavy, so if you're expecting anything else other than combat, then you may be disappointed, sadly, even though it is supposed to be an RPG elements. But yeah, I mean, for Biomutant, I may try it out myself here soon, but I'll definitely, like, if there's definitely any updates to like reviews and stuff, I'll probably be covering it on the next episode. But the next episode will probably be hard to cover a lot of this stuff, because we'll be having be covering the whole entire E3 almost best as we can by this new episode. And from like I mentioned in the very beginning of the podcast, E3 is going to be huge this year. But only thing we can pretty much do is just hope. Hopefully a lot of good stuff come out. Maybe some of the PlayStation exclusives will come out this year. maybe a lot of Xbox will. Maybe there may be some games that just come out of the blue and just surprise everybody.
Like
That's
Apex.
real. What's up?
I was just reminding myself of Apex, how it just came out of the blue.
Maybe Titanfall 3. Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I actually would like to see another, like, something to do with Titanfall. Maybe it's a new mode for Apex. I mean, I'm not too much of a fan of BRs anymore, but I would not be hesitant to have like some Apex Battlegrounds, kind of like Titanfall.
Yeah.
Like in a not necessarily like in the same setting, but like like kind of like how Arena is, but team deathmatch.
Yeah, I feel you.
That'd definitely be cool. But I mean, there's definitely a lot gonna be coming out. Destiny 2's story is supposed to be taking a lot of turns and twists and everything. Smite's coming out with another Last Airbender Battle Pass. Knockout City started their season today. Halo started revamping their games actually on the Master Chief Collection.
Ooh.
Not many people know that, but a lot of people actually had a lot of complaints because if you went on the 360 original Xbox and played like Combat Evolved and stuff, and you played it on Master Chief Collection, before their last update, you could see the downgrade on the Master Chief Collection, but they went and fixed it, and now it actually looks a lot better. Also, for those RuneScape people, there's going to be another iteration of God Wars. God Wars used to be like a very big fan favorite back in the day, and then they came out with a second God Wars, and now there's a third one called the Elder God Wars. That's definitely going to be a neat little thing. I mean, I actually need to start grinding on that game. I hate that it takes years to officially get to certain points. But I actually been enjoying Total War Rome Remastered. That's actually one of the biggest things actually that a lot of the player base, besides the other decisions, they've been enjoying. And what was the other? There was something else with Total War recently, but I cannot put my finger on it. Oh, Total War Troy is finally coming to Steam.
Hey, that's cool.
I noticed a lot of the people's been getting mad because, like, especially big games like Predator and Total War having exclusives on Epic usually brings a lot of hatred because people don't want to, have multiple different launchers. Because I'll even say it myself, I kind of hate having different launchers because I forget I have Valhalla, I forget that I have Rogue Company, I forget I have like Lord of the Rings Conquest on a different launcher. Because just big stuff like that can be kind of annoying. But and it's also another thing, Microsoft games being on their own Game Pass, that's on a separate launcher too. But hopefully maybe they'll have it all figured out eventually, or something. But I'll definitely for Apex, I've been actually seeing a lot of things about Valkyrie. A lot of people have been switching to her. Oh, speaking of which, Rust is finally on console on Xbox. I've definitely been having a lot of my console buddies be like, "Hey, you should get this." I'm like, "You gonna buy it for me?" I do kind of hate it they didn't really bring crossplay, but you never know the amount. A lot of games are coming crossplay. Oh yeah, let me cover that real quick. Borderlands 3 is now supporting crossplay besides PlayStation. RIP Sony. Yeah. So that was the thing with Resident Evil 8, which great game by the way. That was definitely a big issue because apparently Sony's basically going back to their old roots and trying to stop crossplay because they want to try to be dominant and everything. But with this decision and everything, the only reason they started flocking to doing crossplay is because it started biting them hard. But maybe they'll go back to it. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll revert their decisions and keep supporting crossplay. Who knows?
We can hope that Sony doesn't get as carried away, and more crossplay is always better, really.
It'll be about that time for GTA 5 to finally get crossplay.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, I mean, we kind of went over a lot. I mean, we're like I've always been saying, just wait for E3 to come out. All these other stuff come out. I mean, Dead by Daylight's bringing out Resident Evil Chapter, Nemesis, Leon, and Jill, and the map definitely looks pretty good. But I mean, I'm just ready. I'm just ready for all these games to come out and everything. Wait for them to be announced. I'm gonna have a field day. But yeah. But yes, Reload will definitely, if y'all are in our server and everything, y'all are free to ask us questions. If you wish to be a guest, you are free to basically hit me up or Ray Bus or make a ticket, leave a note or anywhere in the server, send a DM to our Twitter, Instagram, anything. But yeah, we are officially done with this episode. And remember to stay tuned that we will be uploading devlogs soon as well. Thank you for listening and have a blessed month.